Hey guys, I'm going to be with you in about a minute. I've just got to sort something out, which is actually me getting a cup of tea. And yeah, if you can all hear me as well, that'd be good to know. And yeah, I'll see you in a second. Okay, right. It seems like everyone can hear me, so let's get going. Right. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Let me get the chat window up again so I can see what everyone's saying. So Alex the Killer wasn't here. Wasn't here for the sound check. That's fine. Didn't miss much. It wasn't that interesting. It was me getting a cup of tea. So, how is everyone? All good. Good week so far. Let me move the mic in a little bit more. Oh no! Sorry. You fell down a hole there. Okay, that'll do. So, Stuart's not here again. I think the thing is, it's because he's got 2 kids, and that all the schools are finishing at the moment here in the UK. They've all got like end of year things going on, so he's off on another one of them, which is fair enough. I don't blame him wanting to see his kids grow up, which is, it's a good thing. But unfortunately, you just have to put up with me again. So I apologise in advance for anything I may say. So today, it's carrying on from last time with the whole creating Fredbear costume, which I will be using in our next plot luck, and also in the next FNAF movie, hopefully. When I say hopefully it will be good enough to use in it. So, right. So before I just sort of go into that, let's just see what everyone's talking about. Anything interesting going on in everyone's lives? And yeah, also, if everyone can be polite and not swear or caps lock everything, because you will get removed by Rebecca, who is our admin security guard. There you go. See, KN Actify. I don't know what you've just had your messages removed. So anyway, well, I'll tell you what. It looks like everyone's happy with the sound and it's all good. So I'm just going to get on and talk about the Pepakura. That is really cool for making props. I've still got actually some of the images from the last live vlog we did. So any of you guys that weren't in the last, on the vlogs we do every Wednesday, and the vlogs are just literally me kind of talking about where we're at with either our films or certain projects that we're doing, and just kind of talking that through. And then also I tend to waffle. Kind of Actify being timed out. Here is the new FNAF movie. It says Josie Alves. It's not here yet. It's not here yet. It's going to take ages. Yeah, I won't read out comments in caps. I'll ignore them, because caps is kind of like shouting, and it's a bit like, "Hey, look at me." You know, I've got something to say, and generally the people at writing camps don't have much to say. So anyway, so for people that don't know or weren't here on the last vlog on Wednesday last week, there's a bit of software and it's free. It's for the PC only, and it's called Pepakura Designer. And basically, what the Pepakura is the art of folding paper, a bit like origami, but with cuts and folds in it. So what you can do is you can load in. Yes, you're right, Rebecca. Sorry, I've got a silver one, a silver badge. I think I need Rebecca to like dress me and stuff because I'm rubbish. Right, there we go. Silver badge. And by the way, if you want a badge, I'm setting up a shop at the moment with Stuart where we've got all the 3D Bubblegummonsters that a lot of people seem to have an interest in buying, which is great. Oh, Ben, you've done the Pepakura before. Cool. How did you find it? Because I'm right in the middle of it now. And I'd only sort of experimented slightly with it before, but I've only just sort of started to get into it properly. So it'd be good to know what your thoughts on it are, if it's easy to use. I'm going to go through a few little tips that I've kind of learnt in the last sort of like 30 minutes of doing it. But anyway, yeah, so if we're selling badges, and they're usually pink. You get a silver one by contributing to our channel via money, and they're very special. Rebecca's got the gold one, but the pink ones are their standard badges that you can buy. Stuart deals with all this, so I don't know the exact cost. In fact, Rebecca might actually know. But I think the badges are £2.50, but that's excluding postage. So it depends where you are in the world. So if you're like, for example, on the other side of the world in Australia, the postage is going to be more than for someone in the UK. So it can range from, I don't know, probably like we've posted probably about sort of £4 to maybe even like up to £8 or something like that. Builder, did you find my email? What was the email about? I haven't gone through everyone's emails at the moment, but I don't know what that email was. But anyway, if you want a badge, yeah, like Rebecca says, email badge to bubblegummonsters@gmail. You do need to have a way of paying, which usually is PayPal is the easiest way. We're trying to look into doing a proper shop. We've got ones for the t-shirts and things like that, but for things like very unique, like the badges and the models, it's not so easy. So I'm still looking into doing that. Hello, Alex the Killer. So yes, that's the shop that we're talking about with the badges and the model. But anyway, going back to the costume. So this this is Pepakura, and this at the moment is just the sort of layout view of it. If I just go to that and zoom out, so you can kind of see what I've done here. This is his head. This is the head of Fredbear. Let me get your comments. I'm blocking the comments. Thanks, Rebecca, for sorting out all that information. And so here, what it basically is, if I go to two windows, here is the head without any of the ears. I've done them separately, but this is just the head. I forgot how you rotate now. How do you rotate? Oh, there you go. That's the problem when you've got loads of software that you use. Oh, don't want to do it. You end up forgetting how you rotate stuff. I think it's just been a bit chuggy as well. It's weird. It's just not rotating. But anyway, you can sort of see his head there. Without the ears, his muzzle, his nose, his eyebrows, and I think that's about it. That's all the bits that I'm going to sort of add to it. But so what you do is you basically load in a 3D object, trying to keep it as simple as possible, because the more of these squares you've got, the more you've got cut out basically, and the more complex it gets. And then you go and you flatten it out to this. And it doesn't come in like this, it comes in as a big jumble of stuff. Like, all of this stuff is all over the place. In fact, let me just sort of show you how it would look. I think I can just go in here and unfold again. Let's see, unfold. Yeah, here you go. So this is what it would look like. So what I did is I spent quite a while going through and selecting the bits that were certain parts of the face. So in here you can select the different areas, and I don't know if you can see that there, but it will have a corresponding area. So if I select, say, that bit, I can see down here that this bit here is that part there. You can see it's all unfolded, and it creates these little flap areas as well, which is where you fold and glue the bits together. But what you can do is you can, if you didn't like that particular shape, what you can do is you can go in and you can go, well, I'll tell you what, I want to join these two bits. You see they're highlighted both green. That means that those two edges there are going to join together. So if I click that, it will join them. If I click that, it will join them. But if you notice, when I just clicked that one, this one's split apart. Now the reason why that is because it's a 3D model and it needs to be able to bend. It has to have splits. Like if you tried to sort of like create got a flat bit of paper and try to sort of bend it round into a ball, you'd get all creases in it because it's not physically possible to do that with one flat piece of paper unless you make lots of cuts in it, and then they can overlap a little bit and you can then create that kind of shape. So what this is basically doing is automatically saying, well, you're going to need a fold here, but obviously then I want this bit to be together, so I can join that now, and then I've got these two gaps, one there and one there, and that is enough to then create that sort of angle that I need. But if I try to then glue that one together, you'll probably find, I don't know where it's going to split, it'll probably split here or here. So yeah, there you go. Because it needs to always have a way of bending those forms around. But I mean, this took me a little while to get it all right. It's not right now where I've reset it all, but I spent a while sort of putting it all together and sort of working out the shapes I'd like. It's actually quite good fun. It's a little bit like well, it's like a kit, like an Airfix kit, and you can then lay it all out into the different pages. So each one of these little dotted lines along here is a page. So the thing it doesn't show you is how big this bit of this page is. So it's got everything on here, and you can change the size of this so you can make it really small if you wanted to. When you print it together and put it all together, it could be really small, or you can actually change the size, which I think is under change scale. So you can set the scale and you can say how wide you want the whole thing to be. So for this, it's a mask, so it needs to fit over someone's head. And also it's going to be used as a prop in the film, and the characters in FNAF are pretty big. And so I based it on this kind of width of a ruler, or a 30cm ruler, by literally holding it up to my head and going, well, that's wider than my head. They're kind of human size. So from cheek to cheek, from this cheek here to that cheek there, to the left and right cheek, far end of the cheeks, I reckoned it would be about 30cm. Now there's 10mm to every centimetre, so that makes 300mm. So you change that to 300mm, like this. In fact, I don't even know if you can actually see on your. Why can't I add that in? I don't know why it's doing that. But anyway, you can change it usually, and it's asking me to enter a positive number. Oh, I'll do it 339 for now, and then suddenly it changes this so that these bits of paper are now, well, these objects are a lot bigger than the paper, and I think the paper at the moment is A4. So basically each one of these segments, if you imagine this dotted line, one of these being an A4 piece of paper, each one of these segments now would just about fit one or two. I don't know what's going on actually. I think it might be because I'm running OBS as well, but it's all a bit chuggy and I can't seem to move stuff around as much as I'd like. But yeah, so basically this would all have to be sort of like crammed in on each page. So you'd end up with a lot of A4 size. You'd end up with about, I don't know, probably about 15 or so A4 pieces of paper. But you can change the page size as well. So I changed it to A3, which basically worked out I needed 11 A3 pieces of paper. And let me just open up the original file. Now I said that this was free. A free piece of software, which it is, but which it sounds a bit useless with what I'm about to say, but basically the free version you can't save anything. So you sort of think, well, what's the point of the free version? The good thing with the free version is, as long as it doesn't crash, you can print out what you've done as a PDF, and then you've got that forever. So you can actually save the layout. It just means that when you open it up again, you'd have to relay it out if you wanted to make any changes. So I went ahead and I bought it. I think it was like $30 or something like that, $35. So it wasn't a massive amount of money, especially considering you can make any prop you want. You can make anything you want from that. as long as you've got a 3D object that you've imported in, you can make, like, I don't know, your favourite, whatever your favourite game character is, or whatever your favourite film character is. Like, you could make the RoboCop head, or you could make Iron Man. In fact, on our last vlog I showed some of the ones that have been made. I'll show you in a sec if you haven't seen them. So I'm just drinking my tea. So anyway, yeah, so if I go back to this layout now, so this was the one I laid out. You can also type in, which does really help, what each corresponding bit is about. So this was all the back bits. This is what made up the back part. And then I had right side, which was obviously the right side of the head, left side, and then it was like front left. I sort of split into two parts, and front right, and then the very front, and then the bottom. So there's quite a few segments to that. Obviously there's 8 segments. Oh, Ben made out Iron Man. Awesome. Have you got a photo of it, Ben? We'd love to. Yeah, send that in. We'll put it in the gallery that we do on a Monday, which is actually on the next Monday. Rebecca, are you my daughter? That would make. I mean, I know I'm old, but if Rebecca was my daughter, I'd have been, I think, 13. Anyway, yeah. So also, if you zoom in here, you can see the different dotted lines, and these are fold lines. And the good thing is, you can. I don't even really see it, but they're actually red, and red means they're called mountain or valley fold. So a mountain fold is. Let me just see if I can. Let me go back full screen on this, so I can kind of explain this without me being tiny. So a mountain fold is like that. So you'd fold the paper that way, and then a valley fold is like that, which kind of self-explanatory, right? Like a mountain, like a valley. So in that software, oh, my autofocus has gone completely bonkers. Everything's going a bit weird. Maybe if I turn the light on. Let's see if that's better. Right. So if I go back to that, and we zoom in, that's a mountain fold because it's coloured red. And it's also got just dashes on it. But if I find, there's not actually many in this particular model, but there are the blue lines here, which are valley folds. So they go the other way. So you have to pay attention to that. And then you also have to pay attention to the black lines when you're cutting out, because this is where you'd cut through down here. You'd have to cut to this point here and up to there. And that's kind of all you need to know when you're about to sort of print out your model. This option to colour them is something that you can turn off. You can have it just black and white. The other thing, an option that you have to turn on, is these numbers. And these numbers, what they do is they correspond to what they're meant to join to. So in this example, you can see that this segment here, this flap, zoom in, which is 264. It's like a jigsaw. It's really cool actually. When I've been doing it, it's really good fun. That needs to tuck in underneath this end, which is also 264, which would then form a bigger shape, and you basically then start adding all your shapes together by looking at the numbers and start to glue them together. So I was hoping to do a whole Fredbear head for today, but this week has really gone flying by, and I've just been so busy during the day. This is really frustrating for me at the moment. There's like people saying, "Oh, are you going to do sister location?" things like that. We are doing FNAF 2. It's just during the day, when we made the first movie, we had so much more time to do stuff during the day, and now I'm just working so hard at the moment because I've got a holiday coming up as well. So I'm trying to get everything out of the way, and I just can't get everything done. So I have managed, and this I did today, and it took about probably an hour in total, which doesn't seem like much, but that included cutting all of the shape out. That is the back part of his head. In fact, you can see just there the print just says, where was it? God, it's quite hard doing it in reverse. BA, that was where, you know, when I had the layout flat, and it said back, that's part of the print there. So that if you imagine, if you can, that would be, you can sort of see the curvature of his back, of his head, and then the curvature going underneath here will be part of it. So obviously it's all floppy and not great at the moment, but once it's got the rest of the structure in there, it will hopefully, like an egg is really strong because it's a spherical kind of shape, that will be a lot stronger. But I'd imagine, considering this was just one page, and there is in total, because the bit I showed you had, I think, was it eight pages on it, and that's just the main head, and there's the ears and the nose and everything else. And that was another, well, it must have been another 3 pages than that. So if it's an hour per page that it's taking me, you can imagine how long it's going to take in total. It's probably going to be, well, probably about 11 hours or so, maybe a bit less, I don't know, but to make that. So so anyway, that's where I went the whole Fredbear thing. That's what you've got so far. But it is quite cool how it's coming together. And the good thing is you can kind of like, because of the flap stuff and the fact that you have to try and glue things together, it kind of predicts when you're like moving it, you have to reach a certain like corner, so you start pulling it around. Because of that, it naturally forms the angle that you need. Because I was a bit worried, like, how do you know how much to bend stuff? But just because of the way you know where each number is, and you sort of have to fold things around to reach that flap on a certain corner, it will bend it to the amount that you need. So anyway, we'll see how we'll keep going, and then the next step will be to put some hardener over it, and so then you get a nice solid structure, and then obviously to paint it or add fur or whatever we need to do. So it might be a bit of a long process, but I don't know, I thought it'd be quite fun to do live while sort of each week seeing it progress. I did do a time lapse of this as well, but it was so short because I was only doing this for an hour, and the time lapse was I think every 20 seconds, so it worked out it was only about sort of 6 or 8 seconds long. So I didn't think it was worth showing that. But there you go. So that's where I'm at with that. Not very far, I'm afraid. But yeah, I'd love to see what you guys think of Pepakura as well. If you haven't used it yet, I know Ben said he's used it. I'd love to see his Iron Man costume. In fact, let me just show you, if you haven't seen these yet, if you're new to all this stuff. This was, that's not me obviously. This is something that someone's decided to make for a laugh. I just think that's really funny. I just think it would be so cool to print your whole body and just have it like as a massive version of you, just, I don't know, sitting on the sofa or something. So that was actually, I think that's my favourite one, just because it's so stupid. But then there was the Master Chief, which is awesome. I don't know how long, and considering like what you've just seen took me an hour almost, I just don't know how long that would have taken. That must have taken a long time to make. And then we've got the Iron Man. Ben, was yours like that one? That'd be cool to see. In fact, maybe that is yours. Don't do me for copyright issues because I've just grabbed these photos. I think Ben's just sent me a photo through actually, and a dragon, which is awesome as well. So yeah, oh yeah, hey go, yeah. Oh, that's wicked. Ben, what I'm going to try and do, while I saw you all looking at that dragon head, I'm going to save out your Iron Man head quickly onto my desktop, and I'm going to stick it up for everyone to see if that's all right. Tell me if not, and I won't do it. But I'm just going to save that out now. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Well, I think it's awesome. I'd like to show it. Thank you, The Smash. I know today's isn't that interesting, but I'm glad that this is your favourite channel. That really does mean a lot. Wow, yeah, I know that Master Chief one is amazing, isn't it? Yeah, Rebecca says all the emails are checked afterwards, because I do get them popping up. The only reason why I saw Ben's and checked it was because I knew he was sending the Iron Man thing. So yes, he says that's cool. Let's. The screen's going to go black because I'm using a software called OBS to control of the screens and everything, and I have to first of all just add another scene. So right now it's going to go black. There you go. But you should be able to still hear. Yeah, I think everyone can hear me still. So I keep talking so people don't panic, and you know I'm still here. I'm just clicking away. I am finding on the desktop now. Oh. Okay, it's just chugging at the moment. I'm finding the Iron Man by Ben. Desktop. There you are. Right. Iron Man. Right. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's massive. Alright, you ready for this? That's his head. That's his eye. I'm just shrinking it down. Sorry. Look at that. Oh, come on. Sorry. That's cool. That's really cool. Love it, Ben. Well done. That must. How long did that take you? You might have already answered this, but because I was too busy nattering, I haven't had time to check. But how long? How long did that take you? Oh, Logan Gaming, good to see you again. But yeah, you know, obviously people got things to do. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you again soon. Yeah, Ben, tell us how long that took, and have you left it like that, or have you added like I thought the hardening? I said I was going to explain that this week. I haven't, but basically you can put this like resin type stuff over the top, and it goes hard. The thing is, it's quite dangerous to use because it's a chemical, so you have to be really careful. So I'm not going to advise everyone to go out and buy this chemical stuff, especially where I know a lot of you guys are sort of like, I don't know, 12, 13. It's not a good idea without your parents' permission, but that's the sort of stuff that you put this resin over and it makes it all hard and basically like a proper prop. 5 hours to cut and build, says Ben. There you go. So not too bad. So probably quicker than what I've taken to do the back part of Freddy's head. But yeah, that's really cool, Ben. So yeah, are you going to paint it and finish it off? You're going to do the whole suit, because that would take a while. But I think, you know, that Pepakura, the thing is with that is can you imagine all the Halloween costumes you can do with that? It's just so cool. So I'm going to set out a challenge actually, and I'm going to ask everyone to download it who can and try and make something, even if it's as simple as a cube, because you can just off the internet you can find very simple objects, 3D models. In fact, what you want to look for in a 3D model is a file that ends with what's called an OBJ, like that. I've just put it out there. So you could probably, I don't know, let me do this now. You won't be able to see what I'm typing, but I'm going to type in. In fact, Ben will know where the Iron Man mask is. He'll probably be able to. In fact, Ben, if you can send us, if it's not too much of an effort, but if you can find a link to the Iron Man model you use, that'd be great. But if I type in ironman.obj into Google, yep, it looks like there's some free 3D models of Iron Man. So how cool is that? So you can then download that. The only issue you may have, but that one looks fine, I think. OBJ just means object, but it's abbreviated because it's an actual like a doc file, like .doc is document, but it's just .doc. And yeah, so .obj. I already have it, says Ben. Is it yours, or was it something that you downloaded? Because I think I've seen a few Iron Man heads, so I'm assuming it's something that's readily available to anyone to use. And I think, you know, that'd be great if we can have a link to that, and then people can try out making their own Iron Man head. Did I Fredbear? You spelled him wrong, Tilly. Did I? How did I spell Fredbear? That is Fredbear. Oh, anyway, sorry TDR. I was in a bit of a rush. I downloaded it, says Ben. Yeah, I don't know if you've still got the link, but it'd be good to share that. I'll see if I can find something. I'll put something in the description at the end. Stuart All-Star Nightmare is, I think he's at his other daughter. His other daughter had one thing last week, and then there's another daughter's thing, because they do lots of dance and stuff. He's always having to sort of go all over the place, but luckily he's always managed to get here. But because it's the end of school, it's just so much going on. Who else hates the rich brats, Logan and Jake Paul? Say me if you do. I don't know who they are. I have no idea they are, so I'm guessing I probably don't really want to know either. I got the PDF version, but I have heaps of other helmets. So Ben, have you made all of these through that Pepakura? It'd be interesting to sort of see the other stuff you've made. TDR, you've been making great Five Nights at Freddy's videos. Thank you, TDR. The problem is, because we've kind of become a channel known for Five Nights at Freddy's now, it's like there's a dilemma of, do we knock out loads of short little things to do with Five Nights at Freddy's, which is okay, but it's like we don't really want to do that, because we're not a Five Nights at Freddy's channel. It's just we like the concept of Five Nights at Freddy's. Or do we just concentrate on making our long, more intense, bigger sort of movie stuff, rather than this constant churning out of stuff, which a lot of channels do. But so we're really going to stick with that. But yeah, the problem is it takes time to do these things. Yeah, Warrior269, happy birthday, mate. Yeah, we did see your comment there. How old are you now? Everyone seems to be growing up. Just like, so we're everyone, like, obviously we've been going for like a year, and like some people that started with us when they were like 12 and now like 13 or 14, and everyone just seems to be growing up so quick. FNAF rocks when you do it, Ian Mackenzie. Thank you, Ian. I mean, that's when we do try. We do try our best. But one thing a lot of people don't know is it was just the two of us doing it. There was no one else other than the actors. In 4 which Stuart was one of them. TDI, you've been with us since Bill's channel, yeah. Yeah, in fact, I don't think it's even 2 years, because we've only been doing stuff with Bill since June last year, so it's actually only over a year that we've actually been doing anything with Bill. Oh, they grow up so fast, says Anti-SFM. Yep, they do. I know, it's scary actually, and I still feel like I'm about 14 or something. So that's how quick it is. 1 minute you're 40. It's like that film Big with Tom Hanks. You just wake up one day and you're like, oh bloody hell, I'm old. You're 13 now. Yes, yeah, you're one of the ones that I remember being 12. So you've grown up and you're now a teenager. It's all downhill now. It's all downhill. Downhill warrior. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm just reading, or we're trying to catch up on your comments now. 14 is TDR. Awesome. I'm 11, says Josie. Yeah, so you're all kind of a similar age, which is cool. I think I loved being that age. I think because I've discussed this before, and I don't know if I'm probably going to end up waffling again, but I think the thing is, when you're sort of like coming up to your teens or your early teens, there's this kind of rush to grow up, because you see either your older brother or sister or kids that are just older, and they then go into pubs, and it's this whole thing of like wanting to grow up, but I just don't ever want to grow up, because you never get it back. You can never get your youth back. So I don't want to grow up, because there's so much more fun you can have when you're young than when you're older. I always think most people that are older want to be young again, and that's the reason why things like paintball were invented, and just some of the sort of crazy stuff that adults now do, like these things like mud obstacles, and it all costs loads of money, but as a kid you just can do it for free. You just go off and you have fun. But if you do that as an adult, you look weird. But I still do it. I don't care. Which is, I just think that's the way it should be. But society makes you try and behave. It's like, you can't do that. You're too old. You shouldn't be diving around in mud and making masks and doing YouTube channels. Anyway, so yeah, a lot of people 12. Kazakhstan. Wow. I mean, this is what I love. I love that we're doing this stuff all together. We're making these masks, Freddie, and you're all around the world. I think that's great. But I want you all to do a challenge of making your own Pepakura. It doesn't have to be a mask. It could be anything. Find a little object that you really like and it's really simple. There's no point doing something really complex, and see if you can make it. I won't say it again. I can tell he has some young fan base. Yeah, I'm not sure what, but I guess it's the FNAF thing, and also Bill's channel. I think he has a lot of the sort of younger audience. But I like it. I love talking to you guys. I just think it's, if I can somehow help you guys in like creating art or just in anything, because I've lived it all, and I've learnt. I think I've learnt a lot from what I've done and some of the mistakes I've made. So if I can pass that on to you guys, then that's great. Had a long head and it was so small. TDI, yeah. So TDI, you're talking about Pepakura. You made one through that. So the problem is you have to make sure that you change the scale. You have to sort of like work out how big you want it by looking at, say, the width of what you want, and then you type it into the scale how wide you want it, and then it will work everything out for you. That thing is 2 years old with brown tape in the rain. So, I'm holding back computer art. Not at all, my boy. Oh, lovely to see you. I don't think we've seen you. Is it Du? Not at all, my boy Du. Yeah, you're new to this, so sorry there's not much going on today other than the Pepakura thing. We do try to do other bits and pieces, but we've just been so busy. Yeah, Bill's channel. He's been away in Alaska at the moment. He came back, I think, last week or the week before, and we did do something for him a couple of weeks ago. So I think he may be showing that maybe in the next few weeks. I thought he'd show it last week, but he didn't. And he may be doing some more collaboration stuff with us as well, which would be quite exciting, I think, if it goes ahead. But we don't know yet. Sorry, I'm just catching up again with the comments. It was pretty expensive. You're going to get a tattoo. You're going to get a tattoo of... I do like to think that the Bubblegummonster logo would make a good tattoo, but I always... I mean, that would be amazing, but yeah, I think, wow, if you got a tattoo of the YouTube icon, that would be amazing. I'd love to see it. If you're going to do that with loads of YouTube, that would be amazing. Are you really... I'm guessing Ian, you're not 12, because I don't think you'd be allowed a tattoo. But that'd be... Have you got tattoos already? Have you got many? It'd be great to see them. Yeah, I don't. TDR. The thing is with YouTube. So TDR says you are underrated, though. I don't know why people don't see you in YouTube anymore. It is all to do with YouTube. YouTube. It's all to do with the subject matter that you're sort of doing. So and also the algorithm of YouTube. So basically, if all we did was FNAF movies, we'd probably have a lot more subscribers and we'd have a lot more views. But because we don't want to be that channel, we don't want to be a just a Minecraft channel or just a FNAF channel or Pokemon channel. We've always just wanted to tell stories, and I've always loved doing that. I've always loved just the art of telling stories. And the reason why we did FNAF was that it captured my imagination. I didn't know anything about FNAF until beginning of October last year. That's how behind we were with the whole FNAF thing. And in fact, the only reason why I discovered FNAF was through Bill's channel. He did one on the pizzeria, and it was a real or fake one that he did, where he had a photo of the pizzeria and it was like real or fake. And he basically, I think he even went out there and it was fake. And basically, obviously, someone had photoshopped a picture of the Freddy thing on top of it. So yeah, it was kind of like, well, what's that all about? Like, it looks quite interesting. And then I looked at it and I was like, it's a game. And then I played the game. I was like, actually, it's quite creepy. And that was all I knew. Was the first film. I didn't know anything about the others. I knew there were others, but I thought, well, let's do this game. This looks really interesting. So I sort of researched the first game, just concentrated on that, and yeah, and then that's where the FNAF movie came from. And so we've had a lot of people like, oh, where's Golden Freddy? Why is Foxy still active after the doors are shut and stuff like that? And the truth is, because we probably just didn't research it enough, and the thing with Foxy was it just made a good end to the film. If you haven't seen the film, that's a total spoiler. But it made a good end to the film, and it was, for me, it made it more of an interesting film because of that, rather than sticking so tightly to a game. And like you can't please everyone. I mean, that's just the case with anything. You can't please everyone, so you have to really please yourself and at least try to be true as you can, as much as you can to a game franchise. And I think we kind of did it. I think it's a lot of people seem to like it. So it worked out as best as we could. But the next film is, as if you've been following our stuff, is a nightmare, because there's so much lore to the FNAF games now. And so when I started to unravel that, it was just like, wow, this is a totally different ball game. This isn't just one film. But the funny thing is, there's a few things in the FNAF film that actually work quite to our advantage if we are to use them in the sequel, which I've kind of written it in. But it's funny how in Sister Location, sorry if you guys don't know about FNAF, and I know some people probably don't, but anyway, in Sister Location there's there's Mike, who is William William Aston's son, and William Aston is English. Now we cast Stuart to play Mike Smith as the security guard, not through the idea of like, oh yeah, we're going to use him because he's the perfect actor. It was just, and to be fair, Stuart did a fantastic job, but it's just me and Stuart. So it's just like, well, to save time, and we're just Stuart, you're the actor, you're Mike. But it's just funny how with Sister Location now, everyone's now this William Aston has got an English accent, and his son is called Mike, and there's this whole thing of Mike might be Mike Schmidt, and it's like, well, he's English, so it's kind of like we've tied that in quite well by accident. It wasn't, and it is actually quite funny in some comments on the film, because they're like, oh, it's really cool that they've made him English and everything. It's like, yeah, we really thought about that. So sorry, I'm waffling again, but I do find it quite interesting, the whole FNAF stuff. It is a really good. I think Scott's done a really good job of, considering it's just such a simple game as well. He's just made this amazing sort of in-depth. It's almost like Game of Thrones kind of in-depth thing with the characters, and just from this simple game. So Ben, you can help with the film. Well, I tell you what, when it comes to the post-production stuff, then I may give you a call, because the first film took 6 months to do. 5 months that was just the post-production, because it's just me that does that. So it took a while. So maybe pass some stuff over to you. In fact, I was thinking it might be worth. I'm not going to do it now, but it might be worth it if I find I'm struggling with this stuff. Sending out to any of you guys that really like doing this stuff. Sending you the prints, and you can do all the cutting and gluing together as well, and we can make these things together. I thought that might be quite a cool idea. Alicia Gentry, I think this channel should grow because of what it is, of what is. Sorry, my English is terrible. To grow because of what it really is. Sorry, I don't know why I couldn't read that. Rather than changing from what it originally was simply to gain more popularity, to attract wider. That's exactly. I mean, that's the thing. We want to be true to ourselves. We don't want to become a certain niche. And in fact, when we go to a lot of them, we go sometimes to these YouTube events, and all of the YouTubers that go to them, well, not all of them, but a lot of them have started off, and they've done a particular video, and it's been really popular. So they've then started to make just those types of videos, but they don't actually like doing it. So they've ended up just. There's one guy, and he I think he did music first of all, and then he did a cooking one or something. Like just did a video on cooking, and that was the most popular video. So he just started doing more and more cooking ones, but he didn't actually like cooking. So he got into this sort of predicament of like, what do I do? Do I carry on just doing these cooking ones, what I don't really want to do, or do I just go back to what I like doing? And I think the secret is really just do what you love, love doing it. Because if you don't, then you may be able to keep it up for a few weeks, but you're just going to end up hating it, and it won't succeed in any way or form. Even if it's one of the more popular videos, you'll just end up just doing something. People can tell when it's something you love doing, something you put real effort into. They can see it. It comes up on screen. You see it in movies. You see it on the big screen. Some of these movies are awful. Some of these big blockbuster movies, and it's because the studio's gone. Oh, we need a new Transformers movie, or we need something that we know will make money. Ghostbusters 3, that's a good example. And there was absolutely no love in that movie. Like, no one probably wanted to actually do it, but they did it for the money. And it's rubbish. And yet you see some of these real indie films, and someone's made that through blood, sweat and tears, and they love doing it, and it becomes a multi-million, like Paranormal Activity, which, to be honest, I don't particularly rate that much, but that was done on a budget because the person really wanted to do it. Or Saw was another one. And now it's kind of like they've gone full as well, because now they get churning them out, and there's people making them, and they're not as good because there's no love in it. Star Wars is another example. I think is like the first 3 Star Wars amazing films, because George Lucas loved the fact that he was making this thing that he'd spent years writing down. He's then making this film, and then the prequels come out, and by then he was tired of it. But he felt like, I think the fans probably kept asking for it, and in the end he did it, and it was just, well, I know some people like the prequels, but it didn't have anything on the originals. Sorry, the Diamond Sheep. I've just seen you be right back, and I haven't answered any of your questions, so I don't know what they were. But yeah, sorry, I've been waffling. I haven't been paying any attention to the comments. So let me just quickly go back, and I'll just see if I've missed anything essential here. So TDR, you can help out with the editing. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, just send me an email with FNAF in the title if you want to help, and then when we get to it, we'll see if. I mean, I'm not going to guarantee that I'm going to need loads of help here, because also we're going to be doing a lot of the stuff without the effects, but because it's all going to be built. But we'll see. So yeah, anti-SFM. It doesn't have to work for you. Just do what you enjoy. Unless you mean that suddenly SFM just stopped working, then fair enough. Do you watch? This is the Diamond Sheep's question. Do you watch The Odd One Out? No. There you go, that's a simple answer. TDR and TSO, you have a point, but it's good that you guys are talking, by the way. I love all this. I love the fact that we are a community, and everyone can help everyone out in some way or form. Because I can't remember who said it earlier, but they were saying, I haven't got any talent or something like that. That's nonsense. Everyone's got a talent. It's just finding where you're good, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in something that you can physically see. It might be something you're very good at, getting a team together, motivating people. There's a lot of different ways you can have a talent, not necessarily a visual one. Hey Bubba, that's the helping out. Well, so Tony, is that DQ? Well, you might not know, but Ennard is in spring. Yeah, Ennard. Yeah. The thing is, I'm not going to get into the whole kind of thing of the whole FNAF thing with all the different theories, but Ennard gets spat out from Mike in the minigame, but then Mike comes back to life. So, yeah, why would he be? Because then, who's in Springtrap? Because then Purple Guy's in Springtrap. So, it then comes down to who is the Purple Guy. Is Purple Guy Mike, or is he William? Or is he Henry? So yeah, there's a lot of theories, and what we've come to decide is we've got what we think is a very nice story arc that will work. If you try and fit all of the theories in and try and, like I was saying earlier, if you try and please everyone, you're not gonna be able to do it. And I think you end up with a film that is a complete mess, and you're just trying to answer too many questions. You'll have too many subplots. It'll be a mess. So we're not going to do that. It's simple as it can be. So I'm just going through and seeing if I've missed anything. Ian McKenzie, in FNAF 2 you should make it that Sam the son is growing up. Do you know what? That's a really good idea. I did actually think that. I have actually thought that about Sam. It would be quite cool to have him in it. But also the other thing is, and I'm just going to put this out there. Everyone says about, it's such a shame he died and didn't get to see Sam's birthday. But we don't actually know he died, do we? We don't actually see him die. We hear something. We hear that he's in pain. But is he dead? Who knows? Yeah, you can never beat the original movies. You can't. I watched RoboCop the other day. I don't know if you guys. I know again a lot of you guys are quite young, so you may not have seen RoboCop. But there's a sequel, it's not a sequel, it's a remake of RoboCop from 2014. And the original came out in 1987, so it didn't have any of the fancy CG. It didn't have not half as much money, because it was a new director at the time, Paul Verhoeven, and no famous actors. And it is still, I watched the original the other day, and it's still amazing. Because you sort of think, you watch so many films these days that will be blockbuster movies, and you just think, oh, maybe I'm just getting bombarded with so much film now that I'm not enjoying it as much as what I should, because I'm just seeing too much film. It's a bit like eating too many sweets, and then you have another one and you're not going to enjoy it that much. But you watch the originals and they're still really good. And the reason why is because these days most films concentrate on the visuals and not the story or the characters. They just think more explosions, more cool scenes with stuff flying around, and that's boring. It's like there's only so much you can see of that before it's just like watching a video game. Yeah, Cars 2 wasn't a great sequel, was it? TDR, oh my god, Robocop, don't get me started. Yeah, no, it's a shame, isn't it? Although, to be fair, I didn't mind the sequel. I didn't think it was that bad as a film on its own, but when you're competing against the original, it was just like... I mean, they're thinking of making an American Werewolf in London again. It's like, just leave it. I think anything that was a classic and the effects are still good enough to tell the story and not be distracting, just leave it. Like, it's a good film. Why do you need to make it again with some CG? FNAF 2 was in 1987, yeah. But Sister Location and FNAF 4 were around 1983. I don't think I ever made... Yeah, Rebecca, yeah. Don't... I mean, it's alright. Robocop, the sequel, is alright to watch, but if you've seen the original, just stick with the original. Warrior 269 the Red Star. I love Scott's work and I respect the decision on cancelling FNAF 6 because the guy needs more time with his family and making a new FNAF game is a lot of pressure. And it is, and that's what he said was, you know, he started off as an indie game developer. He still is an indie game developer. He does it all himself from what I understand. And he's creating this massive franchise that obviously there is a pressure that you just put on yourself to make the next thing better. You just do it because it's the natural thing. It's like you don't want to make something worse, especially if it's something you love doing and you love, you love the fact that you've spent all this time doing it and you want to please the fans. You love the fans, so you want to please them as much as you can. So yeah, I think he's done the right thing, and the film's coming out. I would suspect what he's probably maybe doing is, I mean, he says that he will maybe carry on with FNAF, but I wouldn't be surprised if in the film. In fact, I don't even think it'll be the first film. I think they'll just do 3 films or something, or 4 films, and they will explain the whole lore in that. Now, I don't think he'll do any more games. I think he's had enough, and I think he'll let them get on with it, and it would just become films now. The plot for my FNAF movie is that it begins by the bite and the murder next, and the replacement puppet gives life. And Purple Guy Mike goes to the job, and the 5th night he breaks the robots and replaces them. Sounds like a good plot. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I think you just have to pick the parts you like in all of the lore and just stitch them together and go, oh, that would work as a story. It may not, like I say, please everyone, but it will work. I haven't read Silver Eyes and I haven't read the Twisted ones or whatever it is either. I'm hoping that everyone else will do that for me and I can just take it all off from them. Yeah, I never watched the new Annie, Rebecca. They remade it and I refused to watch it. Yeah, good one. Yeah, what's the point? You're just wasting 2 hours of your life away to watch something you've already watched. Unsighted Rat, my grandpa died not long ago. I'm really sorry to hear that, Unsighted Rat. It's always really hard when things like that happen. And unfortunately, it's just, that is what happens in life. It's how you deal with it and how you remember them that is what really counts. So, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Are you interested in anime? Says TDR. Do you know what? It's one of those things that all sort of the artistic kids that I knew at school and stuff always loved anime, and I never really had much of a sort of, I don't know, I was just never really interested. Ghost in the Shell, things like that, just never really sort of grasped my imagination. I don't know why, but I can definitely see the appeal to it. Songs Bomb Jazzy, hey. Are you done? Sorry, am I waffling? Are you done? I just like that, very to the point. No, I'm not. Alright. Be Upshaw. With the Toys and Backstory, with the Crying Child story, and back the normal, and all the child souls came to destroy Purple Guy, and that goes the FNAF story, and the fire, and that, yeah. I think that's definitely one of those things that is part of the FNAF thing, is the child souls going after Purple Guy. And Purple Guy is definitely a killer. It's just, who is Purple Guy? Do you think that, Anti-SFM, do you think that in the film we would find out Funtime, Foxy Mangle's gender. No. No, I'm not covering that. I don't. As far as I know, she's female. So, I just, I don't know, because I think if you start going down that route, you just start going down the whole weird route of them having like this sort of sexual kind of like angle to it. It's all a bit. They are machines. Like it's like, unless you start putting boobs on them, so it's just a bit weird. So no, I don't think we'll go down that route. So I'm just trying to find the next question. Do you know what, Replica? I could do with another cup of tea, yeah. So where's Fredbear? Says Echo. He's here. Look, this is Fredbear. This is what's happening with Fredbear. That is his head. That's as far as I got. I wanted today to have the whole thing. But yeah, sorry if you've just joined Echo. This is using Pepakura, which is a free piece of software on the PC, and you can create 3D models out of paper, basically. But he will next week. I'm going to have. I promise you guys, I will have the full head. It will look amazing, and we'll all go, "Well, look, we've actually got a proper Fredbear now." And then I've got to then make the body. Also, if he was still in Mike, the spring locks would not be able to crush him, and it is made of metal. You're talking about when he's in Springtrap. But when he's in Springtrap, because that's the other thing, when he's in Springtrap, there's all blood. So he's definitely human when that happens. How did you... Diamond Sheep, how did you make the container drop on Ellie? And I watched the new Robocop. So, I don't know if we were going to do a making on that, actually. But, so the container wasn't there, it's 3D. And all we did is we had Ellie. We had a fixed camera, so it wasn't moving. We had Ellie on her bicycle. If you don't know what Diamond Sheep's talking about, it's one of our videos. It's one of our first ones called, I think something like a unusual bike accident. I think it's called. Anyway, so this little girl goes along, and it's kind of giving away the whole kind of sketch. But a big shipping container lands on there. So anyway, what we did was we had Ellie cycle along. We had the camera back across the road, fixed camera, locked off, and then I sort of said to Ellie, okay, right, get out of the way, move out of the way. And so then we took her bike and we actually took off the front wheel, and we stood in the same place, and we just threw the wheel out, and it rolled out. And then because it was a fixed camera, I could, like you would in Photoshop, if you had like a still image, you could rub bits out. So I rubbed out the bit where we were standing, throwing the wheel out, so it just literally the wheel just appears, and then I just superimposed then the 3D container coming down, added some dust, some little cracks in the road and stuff, and then had the wheel, so where it appears it kind of looks like it pops out from under the container. But yeah, it was all pretty much CG apart from the wheel. Okay, Mangle was a girl, no boy would look like Mangle does. Do you think my plot was a go? Be up to it. It sounded cool, yeah, but we've already written ours, but I think you should do yours. I think maybe were you saying you were going to do it as an animation? But yeah, you should definitely do that. I have a new dog because my dog died. The day before my I'm really sorry. I'm sorry, Raj, you don't seem like you're having a very good year. But time heals, and I think things come in waves as well. I do think you do get this kind of like, it seems like everything's going against you and bad things are happening, and it's down, but you're getting up and things will happen that are good. So just stick in there and stay strong. Can you make your own paranormal activity? We did kind of do that. It wasn't a ghost one, Ian, but we did do one called, what is it called? I think it's called The Rake, actually. Which is on our channel under the horror playblast playlist. So have a look at that. It's a kind of what do you call it? What do they call them? With a camcorder, where you like walk around like Blair Witch kind of thing. Songs Bomb Jazzy. This is my first time watching your live stream at age 11. Of course, yeah. Happy birthday! Yeah. What did you get? Anything cool for your birthday? TDR, that is so cool. Oh my god. I'm not sure what it's referring to, but I'm sure it was cool, whatever it was. Oh, nice one, Rebecca, for putting up at the Pepakura thing again. So I'm jumping in on people's conversation and missing out half of what's going on. So, anti-SFN, yeah, I just thought about what Peter just said. If Purple Guy was killed by Ennard and puked him out, that means he has no guts. Why does Springtrap have guts and blood? Are there two Purple Guys? Exactly, I mean, that's the thing. It's all so... when you start thinking about it, stuff just doesn't make sense. So, it's like... Wait, so is it Mike that was in Springtrap? Is Mike the Purple Guy? Well, he can't be then, because why was there blood, right? So, there's like... So is it someone else that's Purple Guy? And I have to say, in our film, it might not be Mike. I'm just giving away the whole plot. In sister location, they must have left his organs in Mike, but they take out his skeleton out to make room for Ennard. Yeah, that still doesn't make sense, Warrior, because like what they just sort of squashed all his like down into it, where's he got a big hand full of his like innards, all of his organs just in his hand. Like, where would you put your skeleton? Like, I suppose you could put the organ, but Ennard has got like, he's quite solid. He's not like a skeleton, is he? So where would they put all of Mike's organs? And also, after that amount of time, like, he goes all purple, doesn't he? So it's like, well, why would he, like, all his organs would have dried up. They wouldn't have blood in them anymore. Anti-SFM, I can't spell, I'm sorry, that's fine. I mean, I think spelling's overrated anyway. As long as you can get your point across, it's all good. TDO, you should monetize your videos, just a suggestion. I think it will give you enough money so it would get you the materials instead of using the money from your own job. TDO, they are monetized. All of ours are monetized, and I can safely say it does not give enough money to pay for everything, but it's a good idea. But yeah, I mean, to give you an idea, the FNAF movie, I think it's got nearly 1.5 million views. I think it's made us probably about £700 maybe, if that. So it's not bad, I can't complain, but it's just paid for, the movie's paid for itself, basically. It cost about £550 to make that movie, and so it's paid for itself, but it doesn't really make us anything. How long does it usually take to make the video, Tony DQ? Am I saying your name? Is it UQ? How long does it usually take to make the video? It depends what video you're talking about. If you're talking about FNAF, that was 6 months. If you're talking about one of our short sketches, it can be anything from a day to... Depends if it's got a lot of visual effects in it. Some of them have got quite a few visual effects. I think one of the ones that took the longest was a real fairy, which a lot of people hate because they think they were actually going to see a real fairy. But that took a good sort of 3 or 4 weeks to make, because it was all this fairy's all animated, and that just took me ages to do. Song Bomb Jazzy, Stuart, I have a fund. Peter, Stuart's not here. I have a fund for something, and I'm nearly halfway there. £50, and I'm at £46. Hang on. So you're nearly there, not halfway there. If you needed, so you're trying to get to £50 and you're at £46. Well, either way, I think it's really cool that you've nearly done it. I'm leaving. Bye, Peter. Thanks, Ian, for stopping by. And was it Ian with the tattoos? Yeah, be cool to see them. Okay, yeah, I'm going to wrap up soon as well. I'm sorry, guys, because it's been about an hour. Unsighted Rat, I'm not proud of my channel. Do you have any tips to make it better? Okay, I'll tell you what. Well, I don't know. Send us a link, Unsighted Rat, and I'll have a quick look. Oh, look, Rebecca's going to have a look as well. That's good. I only make $10 a year, but hey, it's better than nothing. Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. That's why you got to look at it. If you love what you're doing, and it's making you any money at all, as long as it's not making you depressed or it's using up vital time that you need to be putting elsewhere, then it doesn't matter. And $10, what's that? A couple of beers, maybe? Well, I don't know. Actually, TDO, you're only 12 or so. But $10 a year, you could. I don't know. What can you buy with $10? Probably something quite cool. Warrior 269, because without the organs, the skin would start to rot and fall a lot earlier, and the whole point of him getting scooped was to pose as a real human. I don't know, Warrior 269. I think you'd rot if you had your organs or not. I don't know the science behind it. If your organs are still in your body but you're dead, would your skin rot any less so? I think you're just going to rot. Okay, there you go. I'm sorry, Rebecca's already checking it out. Your channel. Songs Born Jazzy. She's checking it. She's using all of her different. She's using a tablet, her iPhone, multitasking with all these different contraptions. Ben, if you're not happy, then it means you're not trying hard enough. It means you're not putting enough thought and idea or info into your content. Just try it your best. Yeah, I mean that, like Ben says, you've got to just try your best, and even your best won't be good enough. First of all, it just won't, because you'll feel like you've failed. But what you will have done is you will have learned a lot from your mistakes, and then the next time you do it, you won't make those mistakes, and you'll come up with something even better, and it still won't be good enough in your head, and you'll do it again, and you do it again, and then actually you'll get to a point where your stuff is really good, and you still won't be happy, but everyone else thinks it's really good. So you're actually then achieving stuff, but never stop pushing yourself is basically what I'm trying to say. I don't know why I work so hard on my good videos. In my opinion, and my own fans don't like it, but when I make a video that involves laziness, they love it. To be fair, after all we just said, you have got a very good point there, TDR. I don't know why that is. It's a really weird thing. You can end up, and the amount of videos, I can't count how many videos we made where we loved it and spent ages on it, and it got hardly any views, and no one seemed to like it. And then we'd make something that took hardly any time at all, and then it would just get hundreds of thousands of views and loads of sort of thumbs up and stuff. The only thing I can say is that, oh, thanks Rebecca for the channel. The only thing I can say is it would be interesting to know what your videos are that aren't doing very well, that you love doing, and the ones that you think you didn't put any effort in that seem to do really well. Are they related to subject matters that are trending? So if the ones that you haven't put any effort into are suddenly doing really well, a lot of the time it's because it's a subject matter that you've just sort of, like, for example, like Pokemon or something like that, and you might not put any effort into it, but just because of the way it's such a trending subject, and maybe the tags you've used, YouTube's algorithm basically it's a machine. It doesn't know anything about your video except for what you put into it. And if it sees if any way that it's a popular video, it will feed it to as many people as it can, and they'll see it, and it just sticks it in their face, and they might click on it. They might not even like it that much, but obviously you get more and more views, so that can sometimes throw you off and think, well, that people don't like my really good videos, but they really like the rubbish ones. But it's not actually them; it's just the YouTube algorithm throwing it out to everyone, and it all usually is down to what's trending. Upshot, the third plot is that the purple guy little girl dies, and Mike goes to the sister location, and the secret ending happens, and Ennard leaves, and Springtrap 2 and the son and father are going together, and you left us on a cliffhanger there, Upshot. The diamond shot, I dropped my mouse on the way upstairs. Oh, you didn't break it. Okay, I'm going to shift through all this because there's so much. Yeah, the skin would continue to rot as it contains moisture. There is actually a place, I can't remember where it is. I think it's in America, and I forgot even what it's called. It's something called like the something weird. It's basically it's a woodland in America where it's very morbid. This is they put dead bodies into the woodlands in different kind of locations within that. So some are underwater, some are like in just a pile of wood, some are on dry sand, and just to see how the body rots differently. And by doing that, they can then use it for science. For like when they find a dead body, like someone's been murdered, they know then roughly how long it's been there and stuff. Anti-SFM, here's a science question for you. What keeps growing after you die? Your fingernails and your hair. And apparently the last thing to die is your hairs on your tiny hairs on your nose, like really fine little hairs. I'm not talking about big big hairs that come out of some people's nose. Just the tiny little hairs. Apparently the last thing. Songs from Peter, which do you prefer, mermaids, Stanford, or Kerbeus, three-headed dog? I don't know what Stanford is then. I'd say three-headed dog. That's pretty cool. Not a big fan of mermaids. I clicked on an ad for you, Peter. That's some extra revenue. Thanks, Spain. Yeah, if everyone could do that, just keep clicking on all the ads. Yeah, no, that is really kind of you. Though it probably is only about, I don't know, 0.2 of a penny, but everything counts. Everything counts. So really do appreciate that. I wish we were allowed to tell people links in private only for one person. Example at Bubblegummonsters. And then maybe people would actually have something to notice. Yeah. Ask questions and put at Peter a question if you want me to answer a question. The Diamond Sheep. My dog is sad that you're going to finish up. Did your dog sort of just go? Oh, that might be a blood coming out of the seat. Oh yeah, okay, we're still on the FNAF thing. I mean, that's the thing, there's loads of theories on this stuff. It's good to see that you're thinking about that. Peter, you are wrong. Oh, okay. Your nails and hair do not continue to grow. Yeah, actually, you're right. I think I think they do, but not for long. Yeah, you're right. That is actually another thing, isn't it? Yeah. No, that is it. Yeah, you're right, Rebecca. But the last thing to die is your hairs on your nose, because I saw that on QI. Yeah, everyone's going to click the ads now. Warrior's getting well into his FNAF stuff. That's good. Do you usually stream at this time, Peter? Says TDR. We stream a little bit earlier. Usually it's about 6:30, but just because I've found it's actually easier to do it because when Stuart's here, he has to be back at a certain time. Whereas this is where I live, so it's easier for me, and so I just find it easier to do it at 7:30. It just means I can get a lot more things out of the way beforehand. But usually it's 6:30. Did you like my plots for the FNAF movie? Says Upshot. Yes, they sound great. I think you should do a movie yourself. I think that would be really good to see. So Celeste says, "Hey Peter, have you heard of The Joy of Creations? It's a FNAF game and is really well done." I think I have heard. I haven't seen it though. I'd have to check that out. Thanks for that. Yeah, I'll have a look at that. Songs from Jazzy. Peter, I wish my friends knew about your guys' channel so I could talk about it with them. Well, you know what you need to do, Song Bomb Jazzy? You need to tell them. Just say, hey, there's this really good channel that I watch and I'd like to talk to you guys about it, so can you watch it as well? That'd be great. Peter, of course I'm right. I'm a mother, says Rebecca. I hope your son of 4 years old, Rebecca, isn't asking you about dead people at the moment, and that's something you're just needing to know. Okay, I think I'm up to date. I think I've covered everyone's questions. Yes, you should make a poster, Songs Bomb Jazzy. That would be awesome, and we'll put it on the gallery as well, and then you can get your friends to see that. Yeah, so NTSFM Warriors played Joys of Creation. Sounds like it's a good game. I'll have to check it out. Okay, so any last final questions before I go? Because I don't want to bore you guys anymore. And before I go, remember to give the video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already. And remember to tell your friends about it if you haven't already. And what else have I got to say? Rebecca, what else have I got to say? I have got to say that Friday is 5:30, making a Bubblegum Monster. That's live. And then Monday is the gallery again. So if you got stuff like Songs Bomb Jazzy wants to do the FNAF poster, then get that stuff and I'll try and get it in for Monday. Yes, TDR, I'm going to go in a minute because it's been on for an hour and a quarter, and I've got things I need to finish off this Fredbear mask. The Joy of Creation is extremely well made, and it has great gameplay and amazing graphics, says Alicia Gentry. Because that's the interesting thing about Scott Cawthorne, is the fact that he's quite happy with people making kind of replicas of his game. He doesn't seem to be bothered. So that's a good thing for us if we're going to make a sequel. I don't want him taking it down. Someone asked if I like potatoes. Yes, I do like potatoes. And weirdly, and apparently they're really bad for you eating them raw, but my mum, I don't know why, she used to do this. When she used to chop up potatoes, she used to eat some of them raw. And she gave me one once, and it was horrible. And yet, I tried another one and then another one, and I got addicted to raw potato. How weird is that? To the point where I remember being out in the garden running around, and I suddenly had this like craving for raw potato. And I used to eat raw potato. So yeah, I guess that answers your question about do you like potatoes? Yeah, they're really bad for you apparently, raw potatoes, because they've got loads of starch or whatever it is in them. He must stay. Everyone asks random questions quick, says Celeste. Yeah, go on then, ask me random questions. Random question. Oh no, I can't go actually. Hang on. Because you're right. Oh, hang on. I am still here. Because I've got to give away another 2 of these. Then they glow in the dark bubblegum badges. I've got to give them away because for our 50k special thing. Totally forgot. Sorry guys, I've been waffling away. Okay. So what we did last week was we did family fortunes or family feuds or whatever it's called in America. So here we go. Let's do this again. And I think wasn't it? Oh, actually, he's not here today. What's he called? Forgotten everyone's names. But yeah, because it got all a bit stuttery last week, so some people were a bit upset about that. Yeah, 50k month special. Just excited to stay here for the next 2 hours. Well, you can if you want. I know there's a few people at like chatting, so you're welcome to stay. But let's do this now. Okay. So, bubblegum badges, says the Epic Adventure. Yes, bubblegum badges. Let's do it. Right. Are we ready? Hello, Golden Hat. Good to see you. Right, I'll find one that I think that one's too easy. Oh, we had that one last week. Industrial Angel won that one. Some of these are a bit more English. I'll go with something which is more sort of universal. Okay, here we go. Hello, White137 Animations. Good to you animate. You into animations? That's really cool. I don't know if maybe you've come through checking out some of the animation stuff that I've started to do for tips and tricks. But anyway, we are now up. So I don't know if anyone's just joined, but we're near at 151k now. I know. So these badges aren't going to last. We've only got another week or so giving away these badges. So 2 badges up for grabs. If you can be the first person to come up with the correct top answer to this question coming up now. So the question is, name something you might find in a mountain cabin. That is, name something you might find in a mountain. I can't say mountain for some reason. A mountain cabin. Let's see what people say. Okay, have I missed anything? Let's have a look. So we've got bubblegum badges fresh from the bubblegum machine. Yeah, that's right, Warrior269. In fact, was it you that did the drawing of the bubblegum machine for the gallery? I can't remember. I don't know if I've shown it yet, actually. A week? A week. Yes, because we're doing it to the end of the month. Oh, maybe it's 2 weeks. Yeah, where are we at? We're nearly at the 20th, so yeah, it's nearly 2 weeks, I guess, still. Yeah, 12 more days. Sorry. Okay. Let's have a look what people are saying. Alright, so there's... Oh, I've lost the card. Okay. I do know what the top answer is, but I can't find it now. Where have I put it? Oh, it's right there. Okay, funny enough, we haven't had the top answer yet. We haven't had the top answer. I will say that there's a lot of people that are close, or should I say, are very warm. But they're not. It's still not right. Still haven't got the right answer. Nope. A small farm. Chimney. You don't really find the chimney in the mountain cabin, do you? But you do find something attached to the chimney in the mountain cabin. So yeah, no, still no one's got it. I say again. Oh, what? We got a winner. A fireplace. Fireplace was the top answer, and that was Ben Walsham. Ben, you've won yourself a bubblegum badge. Well done. All seems a bit weird, just me clapping. There's no one else here. Anyway, send us your details, your address, to at bubblegummonsters.com. Sorry, Rebecca will do it. bubblegummonsters@gmail.com with badge in the title, and then your address, and we will send you a glow-in-the-dark badge. So we have one other badge, but because I am feeling generous, we are going to go. I've still got this poster actually. This still has to be signed for our last winner, who I can't remember who it was. I'm really sorry, I don't think they're here at the moment. But we are sending these off. It won't be this one. It'll be another one of our posters that were actually in the FNAF film, which will be signed. It's not signed yet, and laminated, so it's all nice and not just a bit of paper. And we will be sending that off. But because I haven't seen Stuart, I couldn't do the signatures yet, which is why it's still here. So we are sending them off as well, but we will give away another one of them. So let's do another question. Okay, we'll try this one. You should put badge in the subject line, Rebecca, for to send to us. Please, I want me. Please, I want me. The golden hat says. I want one. Okay, well, you know what you have to do? You have to answer this next question correctly. So, for anyone that has joined us just now, I think we've all kind of got the same people, but Family Feuds, if you're in America, or Family Fortunes, if you're in the UK, or if you're anywhere else, I'm not sure what it's called, but it is basically a game where you have to name the top answer that people have given to the question. So, it could be, I don't know, name something you'd find in a garden shed, and whatever the top answer is, so I don't know, a rake or something, but that's not what this question is. So the question on this one is, name something a police officer does. That is, or a copper, or what else would you name something a police officer does. Cop. They call them police officers in America as well, right? So, anyway, you know what I mean. Hi, are these drawings plans for the FNAF 2 movie, says Alex. No, they're not. They were in the first one. They were in the office. They won't be in the sequel. No, because we're giving them to you guys. No buffering either. Cool. That's good. Eat donuts. That's a good answer, says. It's not the top answer. In fact, it's not even there, but it should be. I think we have a top answer. It was really close. Between Anti-SFM and TDR. But TDR just pipped you to the post there, Anti-SFM, with arrest people. That is, I'm pretty sure that's the first person yet. That is the top answer for winning the poster. And that is TDR. So well done, TDR. And you did the donuts as well. So I think you well deserve a poster. It won't be this one. I have got them somewhere. They're around. But it'll be, if you look in the movie, it'll be one of them. But this one's already been won. So congratulations, TDR. Well done. So don't worry though, Anti-SFM. I know you've just missed out on a few of these now. But there is going to be some more posters. And remember, in the last week, we've got the big one, the big celebrate one, the big A1 size poster that was kind of quite prominent in the office in the film. A golden hat, you're going to miss out on the last bubblegum badge. We've got one more badge. Don't go yet. Look, one more. Okay. Right, you ready? Last question. So, sorry, TDR as well. If you can send an email to bubblegummonsters@gmail.com with badge in the title and your address in the email, so we know where to send it. But well done, you guys. So, put badge in the title, but also if you can just put I won the poster, because I always forget who won the badge and who won the poster. Sorry, Rebecca. I was saying that it was buffering. That was what the long no was for. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Captain Red, Peter, I won a badge almost 2 weeks ago. When will it come? As far as I know, Stuart sent them all off. I will check with him again. He has said that he sent them all off. If it hasn't come within the next week, I will send you another one, because it should have come. But yeah, I know Stuart was kind of, because he's like been busy doing other stuff. He may have missed it, but I will double check with him. Email, please. There you go. TDR, Rebecca's just put that down. So we've got one more thing to give away, which is another badge. I say one more thing. This is just for today. Next week we'll be doing the same thing. So, another question. Here we go. This is a good one. I think it's a good one. Are you ready? Is there any buffering, first of all? Yeah, Zach. 2 weeks ago, it is a long time, but we're not Amazon. We don't have a lot of the time, because Stuart works every day and everything. He has to sort of print these up as well, and then do the packaging and send it off. And sometimes he doesn't do it. He leaves it to the weekend. So if it was like on Wednesday, it would then be the Saturday that he then sends it off, which won't get probably there till, if you're in the UK, the next week. But then if you're in the US, there's like a week delay on that as well. So it seems like a long time, but because it's just by general post, it can take a long time. Anti-SFM woke up to a badge today. I woke up in the afternoon, so I don't know when it arrived, but I was so excited I forgot to set up my camera. Oh, did you get a badge? You have to wear it in your next video, Celeste. But yeah, I don't know where that came from. Nope, no buffering. Cool. Right, okay, let's do this. Let's do this last question. So, ready? Name something you make a wish on. That is, name something you make a wish on. Who's going to win the next one? Oh, and also I should point out that if you have already won one of these badges, then you're not disqualified, but we'll give it to the next correct answer. But you can still join in. It's still a long time, says Zach. You're very angry about this. It is a long time, especially when you're waiting for it. I know, it is a long time. I'm very sorry, Captain Red, that it has taken so long. Okay, so what have we got? Oh, well, Dylan is properly chucking them out there. So we've got, again, we have got a winner, and I feel really sorry for Anti-SFM, because she again missed out by one person, and I think the reason why you missed out is because you put shooting at the beginning, so you'd spent more time typing. If you'd said star, you would be a winner of a blue badge, but it doesn't matter because you've already got one, right? Dylan, as far as I can tell, yep, it was Dylan, wins his own glow-in-the-dark blue bubblegum badge. Well done, Dylan. Well done. So there we go. That's the 2 badges and the poster for today. Dylan, if you can send us an email with your address with badge in the title to bubblegummonster@gmail.com. And what was that? A chair? Who wishes on a chair? Oh, was that a question? Is that an answer to something else? Okay, so that's it. Question. That's the last question, and it's been answered correctly. So no more answers, please. And there we go. So that's it. Yeah. So well done, Dylan. Okay, I'm going to now finish because that is everything I needed to talk about, and it's been an hour and a half now, and I've got to get on my Fredbear costume. I'm out, says Zach. Zach, you're very angry, and annoyed about the whole delivery thing as well. TDR, can I ask Peter to get a badge too, or just the poster? Can I ask, do I get a badge too, or just you just get the poster, TDR, signed poster? But you can also buy the badges as well. Actually, not the blue ones, but the pink ones that we have. Which is £2.50, not dollars. So I think it's about £3 something dollars. But then plus the postage, which would have to work out depending on where you are. But you're welcome to send us if you have PayPal or you know someone that has PayPal. You can pay that way and we'll send you a badge. But yeah. So it was nice hanging in the stream, TDR. Yes, it was. It was nice to have you as well. It was nice to have everyone. As usual, I love having you guys here and chatting to you. It's really cool. And the stuff that you come up with as well. I love it. Captain, because I didn't get it, did I put the right thing in the title line? I don't know. Did you put badge? If you put badge, I'll tell you what. While you're here, let me just have a look. See if you come up on the thing. So TDR sent his through. That's cool. I've got that badge. So Captain Red, what's your first name? Don't need to give surname, just your first name. I just want to check if that. I've got a few here, and it'd just be interesting if I've got the right one. Sinister Bonnie Productions. We've just been. Sinister Bonnie Productions won the last poster, which Sinister Bonnie Productions I still haven't sent off, and the reason why I haven't sent it off yet is because I'm still waiting for Stuart's signature so we can send you the signed version and have it laminated. But yes, we're just finishing up actually. But just so you know, your poster is on its way. It's just I'm still waiting for Stuart with the signed stuff. Ian, okay, now can you send me your details again, Ian? Because for some reason I'm not seeing it. It may be because Stuart picked up on the email and it's then not showing up in my emails. But just to be on the safe side, I'll just send it again. Hey, Upshaw's back. Poster buddies, yes you are. Yeah, so TDR won the next poster, Sinister. So yeah, you're both poster bunny. And so I don't think she's here at the moment, but Digital Ashtrays won one as well. And Purple Nightmare's here. I wish I could win something. Well, you can. It's just keep going, just keep entering. You never know. It could be you. I know, Sinister Bonnie. Yeah, but we've been going now an hour and a half, and I've got a few things I've got to wrap up as well. And it's not because it's 9 o'clock here now. I don't. Whereabouts are you based, Sinister Bonnie? You're in the US, aren't you? I think because I've got your. Yeah, you're in the US. You're in whereabouts in the US are you again? But I know, yeah, you were definitely in the US because I've got your address. So yeah, it's probably a lot earlier for you, but it's 9 o'clock here. Yeah, exactly, Purple Nightmare. You know, there's no reason why you've got more chance of winning one of these than you have of the lottery, that's for sure. And we'll always be doing them. They'll always be doing stuff, even if it's not the 50k blue badge. It'll be something else. There'll always be something we'll be giving away. So yeah, I'm sorry, Sinister Bonnie, but I am going to have to end it now because I need to get on with things. But yeah, if you can join us on the next one, we're live. It's quite early on Friday at 5:30 UK time, but making a bubblegum monster, and then if not, live again on next Wednesday. So be sure to join us then. But that's it, I'm afraid, guys. Have a lovely rest of the week because we're only halfway through. but I'm sure it will go quickly. And I will see you on. Sorry, I've totally switched over to the holding page there. I will see you on. I'll see you on Friday. And until then, bye bye.